In the Siberian taiga, in one of the most remote regions on the Earth, an occurrence like no other took place. A strange anomaly that left scientists baffled, and the incident still up for debate to this day, known as the Tunguska event. On the morning of June 30th, 1908, an explosion in the Siberian Forest with roughly the energy of 15 megatons of TNT and 1,000 times more powerful than that of the atomic bomb at Hiroshima, Japan. The aftermath of this event flattened 830 square miles of forest, or roughly a smaller state than that of the state of Rhode Island. Many scientists disregard the incident as nothing more than an asteroid or comet impact. Some scientists went as far as calling it an air explosion, or an intact asteroid traveling at the speed of approximately 33,000 miles or 54,000 kilometers per hour and roughly the size of a 25-story building miraculously exploded within itself just before impact. However, eyewitnesses of the Tunguska event on the morning of June 30th, 1908 vary, and some seemingly in direct contradiction to what was originally written off as an asteroid event. That morning, a few people from the village of Karolinsky reported seeing a bright blue light in the sky that was as bright as the sun and hearing a series of loud explosions accompanied by fierce winds and fire. An excerpt from the local newspaper named Cyber in 1908 related the following of the event. We observed an unusual occurrence. In the North Karolinsky village, the villagers saw rather high above the horizon a strangely bright, impossible to look at, bluish-white heavenly body, which for 10 minutes moved downwards. The body appeared as a pipe, like a cylinder. The sky was cloudless, and only a small dark cloud was observed in the general direction of the bright body. It was hot and dry. As the body neared the ground towards the forest, the bright body seemed to smudge and turn into a giant billow of black smoke, and a loud knocking, not thunder, was heard, as if large stones were falling, or 50 to 60 artillery firing at once in short, equal intervals. After 2 minutes, the barrages ended. 6 more thumps were heard, like cannon fire but individual, loud and accompanied by tremors. All the building shook. At the same time, the dark cloud began emitting flames of strange shapes, never before seen by normal fire. All the villagers were stricken with panic. Afterward, Siberian parts of Europe experienced abnormally bright nighttime skies for some time after the event. Because of its remoteness and political turmoil at the time, it wasn't until 1927, almost 2 decades before the first scientists reached this remote region of Siberia after the event occurred. The expedition, led by Russian meteorologist Leonid Kulik, as part of the Russian-Soviet team, found the site. After a careful and lengthy investigation by Leonid Kulik, in his findings, it was reported that no trace meteorites or fragments were ever found. What was further baffling was no impact crater was ever found at the site as well. On June 30th, scientists at the University of Bologna speculated that Lenchenko, approximately 5 miles or 8 kilometers away from the initial site, held fragments that survived the Tunguska explosion, which they believed turned into the lake since the 1908 blast. However, a 1961 field investigation, almost 46 years prior, debunked the Lenchenko theory, as it was determined that there was a large silt deposit over the fragments at the lake's bed. The amount of silt suggested the age of the impact to be at least 5,000 years old, thus making the Lenchenko site to be many millennia before the Tunguska event. Theories are abound to the cause of what happened in June 1908 and what the villagers saw that day, yet one theory stands out from the rest of them. In the year 1956, a Russian writer by the name of Alexander Kazantsev published a novel titled The Explosion, with an explanation of the true causes of the event, allegedly determining the Tunguska event was caused by a massive internal energy source explosion of an extraterrestrial spacecraft, much like a nuclear blast. Kazantsev visited the ruins of Hiroshima, Japan, approximately 11 years after the city was devastated by the blast, noticing extreme striking similarities, such as the sheer standing trees with leaves and branches ripped off by the sheer force of the blast pressure wave, and with no crater. It was purported that there was likely evidence to support Kazantsev's explanation, as forest fires caused by meteor explosions in the past are known to burn the entirety of the trees all around. However, the burn marks found on the trees at the Tunguska site were only discovered on one side, based on prior nuclear tests. This allegedly indicated concentrated, short-term radiation-type heat that was only normally ever seen during thermal energy explosions. Regardless of the theories, exactly what happened on June 30th, 1908 is still not conclusive.